Good evening, and welcome to the first concert of the 21-22 school year here at Washougal High School. Now that we're official, I'll actually talk on the mic. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the jazz ensemble here at Washougal High School. We meet daily from 6:50 to 7:45, except Wednesdays. We oddly meet 6:55 to 7:45. This is an experimental group for this first quarter. What we're doing right now is we're learning a bunch of jazz standards. So these kids before you, they're going to perform 4 pieces of music for you. And what they're doing is they're learning the actual tune. They have learned to make up their own backgrounds to how the tune goes. So they've actually composed the tune that you're about. Each tune has little backgrounds that you're going to hear, so they've been working on that. They're doing transcriptions of solos in unison to learn how the chords and how the music feels together. And then they're going to end each one of the tunes. But it's basically what you've been listening to. But it's been a great experiment, and we're going to get started. So the first tune on our concert tonight is Blue Monk by Thelonious Monk. You wear these masks so long all day, you kind of forget you're wearing them at some point. So that featured Henry on trombone and Caleb on the tenor saxophone. How about another round of applause? All right. Even if you just graduated last year, and I know some of you are in here, how many of you played in band in high school? Just curiously, put your hands up. Can you imagine, you remember that pressure? That if you ever played a solo in front of everybody, it's just that the nerves get going? I mean, these kids have been doing it. You know, each tune has a different set of soloists, and I think the best part is I don't even remember who's playing what solo. They've got this down. So we're going to continue on with the show. Up next, we have Song from My Father, and we'll find out who plays when we see who plays. That featured our flute and saxophone. That was Arcely, Lana, and Mary. How about another hand for our soloists? So as you can see, we've got some non-traditional jazz instruments going here. People that want to join jazz, I will say this to everyone. I will accept anyone who wants to play jazz. I believe everyone can play anything and anything they want to do. They just have to learn that the sun does not come up anytime during the jazz ensemble hour, but that anyone is more than welcome to be a part of this jazz ensemble and learn. And we've been growing pretty strong since the beginning. I think the first week we had about 7 or 8, and we've grown to this size. And we're actually missing a few tonight due to some sports and some other events. But I would love to have anyone who wants to be a part of jazz is welcome to be a part. So this next song, I know this one. This one features Tanner. I know that one, correct? So anyway, the song is called Tenor Madness, and we have renamed it accidentally Tanner Madness. Who else plays on this one, by the way? Okay, Caleb and Arcely. So again, I have no idea what goes on here. I just get to enjoy the music, and so will you. So this is Tenor Madness. All right. And again, this is going to be a very informal evening. This is one of the two ensembles that actually has played as the ensemble for tonight. A couple of the ensembles you see today was the only rehearsal that we've ever done. So you get to see some things about how amazing kids are with the power of music. So this is going to be our last tune. We will be, just a reminder, our next concert, and it should be on your program, is Thursday, December 16th. And we will actually debut the jazz ensemble. This is just the jazz experiment for right now. And then we'll start playing some jazz music, and we'll do some holiday tunes. It'll be great. We'll all have a great time. But we're going to close today. I believe this is one of the first tunes we ever learned in class. It might have been actually the first tune. It's one of my all-time favorite tunes. The neat thing about jazz is we always talk about composers and music as being important. And I have absolutely no idea who Joseph Cosma is. And I have known Autumn Leaves since I was a child. It's one of my tunes jazz is a little different. So we're going to close today with Autumn Leaves. Raise your hand if you're playing a solo today. Lana and Henry. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the first performance of the 2021 school year in the Jazz Ensemble and Autumn Leaves. Power button. So next we're going to feature the wind ensemble, or as I like to call it, sixth hour class. It is the ultimate awesome way to end your day. The 6th hour wind ensemble is made up of mainly juniors and seniors. And like I said, we're just kind of moving along today at putting a concert together. And so we'll get back to you just as soon as we get a little change out here and make sure we've got everybody, do a little bit of tuning, and then we'll get back and we'll talk soon. I think the best part about being a teacher is you just tell the kids to do stuff and you just trust that they're going to do it. I said, wind ensemble will be out on stage after jazz band, and here they are. So this is going to be a fun little program for us. So what we've been doing this semester is I'm the new guy. And so when you're the new guy and you're a new teacher, you get to actually have to learn to build the trust of these amazing kids. And that is what I've spent my time doing, is trying to earn their trust, trying to make sure that we do things, you know, I may say something that's been taught totally different and say it a different way, but we have to get used to each other. We got to feel each other out. And they have to learn, is he serious? And the answer is pretty much no. He's not serious, but he is serious. I am very intense about my music. I do love it. But the group you're about to see, the 6th-hour band, plus we have a guest. We have a guest violinist tonight, audition for Allstate. This is Savannah. Say hi to Savannah. This is the first time this group has played together. We have a guest in our percussion section. We have a lot of things going on tonight, which is make music. So we're going to start the concert with Flourishes. This is written by William Owens, a fantastic composer out of the Vandercook School of Music. If any of you kids are thinking about being a music major, by the way, look up Vandercook, one of the best music colleges around. It's in Chicago, in the Chicago area. This piece was premiered, I believe, as a I can't remember what year, but it was at the Midwest Conference. It was a great, glorious time. But this is Flourishes and the Wind Ensemble by William Owens.
So I've gotten older. You get out of breath when you're actually conducting, believe it or not. This is the first time I've actually, I think, moved my arms that much in a couple years. And you kind of forget, this seems like pretty easy when you're going for a while. But try it for like 2 minutes. It's a good aerobic workout. We could do CrossFit for band directors. It'd be great. As you can tell, I have to stall until they get some of the tuning down. So the next tune and our last tune that we're featuring just the wind ensemble on, and we're going to do the same thing for the next concert. We're going to have specific tunes by ensemble. We're going to do some combined stuff. It's going to be a great holiday extravaganza. But this is one of the tunes that got, I hate to say this out loud, but I'm going to do it. It got popular on TikTok. And so I actually don't watch TikTok, and so when this song started coming out, I got very confused. But these are some sea shanties. And so they're super, the kids I'm sure know them very well. As a matter of fact, the reason I picked this piece of music is because as I was learning how well they play and the things that we need to do, I was walking down the hallway and I heard sea shanties coming out of the band room, and I said, okay, we'll play the sea shanties for the concert, so it'll be fun. So this is also kind of one of my thank yous. This band has some fantastic traditions about it, and one of the best traditions about this band program is the band council. Band council, go ahead and raise your hands. You know who you are. We know who you are. So as the story goes, I actually tried to leave you alone on Facebook and email. I super tried, but then I was going to the teacher meetings, and then I got this football schedule, and I said, does that football game on the Friday of the very first week that we have? Yes, it is on the first Friday, and we started on a Tuesday that week. So thank you for letting me be your new band director. By the way, you must have a full performance with a pep band on Friday. So that's how my year started. And so the band council, and I think we met on Friday. I know that was the first time I had met anybody from the school, and they're just fantastic. If there's any tradition that's not flying, I depend on these kids to forever inform me on what's going on. And we have to think, they were sophomores last time we were pre-pandemic. So they have done a fantastic job of making sure that we at Washougal keep the Washougal band as it is. So as my thank you to them, and also a little bit of a panic, I think. Are you guys panicked about this? I decided, you know what? All the solos in the sea shanties, let's feature the band council. So we are going to perform the sea shanties, and you're going to see Cole, Annelle, Lana, and Braxton, and you'll hear the sea shanties. If you feel like singing along, please do, but if you're pitchy, keep the volume down. It's all good. Here we go. This is the end of the wind ensemble, but a fun little song, Sea Shanty. All right. So it's just kind of fun. We're actually making up the concert as we go. So now you guys get off the stage. A couple of you stay. Somebody find symphonic band and concert band and tell them they're next. On your marks, get set, go. So, this is our fourth hour and fifth hour combined today. This is symphonic band and concert band combined. So, when did we do our first rehearsal at this? I think about what, 5:45, right about there? Right about there was our first rehearsal putting this together. So, I have a big different philosophy, I think, about music, and to me, I think being a gigging musician my whole life, sometimes you just show up and play the gig, and that's the way it works. And as long as you're playing with a great fundamental sound, anything can happen, and it's usually great. So I know this is atypical for this band to play on the first concert, but like I said, I think it's just amazing that we finally get to hear these kids after a couple of years. I'm sure sitting in front of a computer playing your instrument has been super fun, but I think we enjoy much better playing in front of an ensemble. And also, we love the applause. We thank you for it. It's amazing. So what we did is, as I started teaching, I have some philosophies. One, sit down. Number two, shh. Then we work it from there. And then after that, we start passing out music, and my kids know, scales, thirds, arpeggios, Clark studies, long tones, lip slurs, all those wonderful things that make us sound great as musicians. And that's what this music that we're featuring for tonight is designed to do. So I passed out a bunch of music, and then I kind of finally settled on some of this. So some of this music, I think both of these would normally perhaps be on the Pops concert, but I wanted to pick some music that was on a level that we could focus on sound, we could focus on reading the dynamics, we could focus on making music for a change instead of having to do it on our own. And the best part, watching them smile. It's a little hard through the mask at times, but they do smile. You guys smile, right? I can't tell. We're going to just play a couple of pieces of music. And like I said, this is the first time we've ever played together, but as they've learned, it just sounds like the music that we do in class every single day. And I'm so thankful for these kids. So the first tune we're going to play is Lean on Me. All right, and the next tune that we're going to play, like I said, normally this would be on the Pops concert, but again, when you're looking for music to play that gets the kids interested and work on some fantastic things, sometimes you make some exceptions. I am a huge Marvel fan. I don't know how many of you are Marvel fans, but I was a huge Marvel fan. Gosh, I remember, my mom tricked me. She used to make me go to remember we used to be able to go to the store because your parents actually would just make you go and you just like went off to the store as kids. Well, I bought a comic book and it went horrible from there. Next thing I know, I had like 2,000 comic books. So the Avengers were a big part of my life. And I know the movies have been super popular. Disney bought them. And it's just been some great music. And the neat part is everybody knows this music. And this is written by Alan Silvestri, is a fantastic composer. Some of the my first remembrance of him is the movie Back to the Future. That was one of the first things that I ever remember him writing. It was fantastic. But his music's great. There's a lot of cool articulation markings that we've been working on in this piece of music, but we're going to end this portion of the concert, and then we're going to bring everybody out and play with everyone in the band program. But this is The Avengers, Alan Silvestri. All right. So now they have to remember where they sat like 3 hours ago. Just remember, kids, there's actually a piece of tape on your chair and your stand to where you sit. So we're going to bring everybody out, and we're going to put all three bands together. Again, first time we did this, 5 o'clock today. I'll tell a little bit more about it while they come out. But we'll get set up, get warmed up, and then we'll close the concert with Byzantine Dances. ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming tonight. It's been super important for these kids to actually play for you. Like I said, this was like a cool idea. We'll just put it together, see if it works. It works. So this is our entire Washougal band program currently. I'm just amazed with the work ethic of these kids. They have been super positive. They have been fantastic. That comes from the audience that I'm looking at right now. So thank you so much for encouraging your kids to stick with it, encouraging the next generation. I know we have some of our fantastic other music teachers in the district sitting in the audience. Take time to say thank you to those people, because if without them, I wouldn't have these amazing kids in here. And that foundation that those teachers have laid is fantastic and great. But we're Washougal, we are back, and we are ready to entertain for all of you. So we're gonna, like I said, short and sweet on our first concert. The holiday concert is gonna be full of wonder and amazement. I think you'll enjoy the music that we selected, some of the traditions that we have. Again, Thursday, February, late concert, December 16th. It was a pleasure meeting you all. I will gladly stay after and meet you all out in the lobby if you want to say hi. So for those of you, this is your parent-teacher conference. Thanks you. I had what, 104. Did you catch that, Ms. Clark? I got all these. I win. I got the most parent-teacher conferences. I win. So super good. And for those of you that have got your parent-teacher conference, I'll send you your Zoom link if I forgot to send it. It's been a trippy Zoom year. But anyway, fantastic to see you all. We are back. Spread the word, get us out there, and don't tell your kids to practice. It's coming. I'll tell you when it's okay. But for right now, just let them show up to school and love every minute of it and look forward to band, because I know I look forward to these kids every single day. Thank you so much for coming. This is Byzantine Dancers, one of my favorite composers, Carol Britton Chambers. She writes for Ronald Reagan High School in Texas. A lot of her work has been commissioned, and the funny part is I've played many of her pieces. Some of my kids are playing some quartet pieces by her. She is a fantastic, prolific female composer, and I encourage you to look up all the composers we played this evening and find out why they are so amazing and great. So, see you after the concert if you want to chit-chat. See you after, because you're coming back, not in February, December 16th. And thank you so much for coming. How about another big round of applause for these fantastic kids? So if you ever want to stress yourself out, put your entire band program together with one rehearsal and Byzantine Dances. oddly the last word. But here goes. Teacher moment, be prepared. Every chair and stand has your name on it, and it needs to be in the room in this exact setup, how we found it. Percussion, just get the percussion back, cram it against the walls. But the stage is super clean, and then you can find your parents. And then everyone should go take them out for ice cream or something. Have a good, well, we got a test school night. We got testing. Don't do that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. See you on December 16th.